got the Zealous Vibes family right back in the building, man. Today we're going to speak about a very sensitive topic, but before we get into that topic, I want to initiate everybody that's in this room today. Starting off with Jazz.
Oh shit, what's happening? You know who in the building, J-double-Z. You know what I'm saying, Zealous Vibe all day long. Hey.
And it's 14K Dre. I'm a child of the sun, so I shine like one.
Hot as hell.
The real Cherie with a C.
Cherie in the
This
building.
your girl Taz, no other KT.
Hey, it's your girl Lala in the building.
La.
Tone block with the knees out.
Oh, boy, Ashy.
First, I want to say, happy Juneteenth month. Whatever it means to us people out here.
Out to the people.
Whether you celebrate it or not, we do.
Yeah, we do.
It is what it is. Can
Juneteenth.
somebody tell us what we going to speak about today?
It's a lot. Well, I'm gonna say it's not a lot, but it's viral. Everybody's heard about Karmelo Anthony, the Anthony family in particular, and what's going on with his case out of Collin County. And it stirred up a lot of controversy, per usual, black, white, racist, non-racist, that line. And where do you draw it? Do black people get a fair shake in the justice system? Nobody's denying that he did something. But did he get a fair shake? Did he get a fair trial?
Of course not.
Was his sentencing fair? Was it rushed? It's a lot of controversy around this situation. GoFundMe, all of that money. Did the family get it? Why did they shut it down and not release it to the family? You can compare similar cases like Karmelo Anthony's to white students who have unfortunately stabbed their classmate because they were being bullied, and the person that they stabbed, the bully, passed away. And they got off or got 5 years probation. This is a real case, by the way.
Right.
It was a young white girl. She was in the 8th grade. She stabbed her classmate. She was being bullied. And the young lady died. She got 5 years probation. There's another similar case to Karmelo Anthony, not in the same situation as a student, but an Asian man. He killed a young black guy that was accused of stealing water. We don't know if he was stealing water or not, but he ran away. And he's the owner of a bodega or
a gas station,
corner store or something, a gas station. And he chased him down and shot him in the back. That Asian man went to court, had his day in court. They found him not guilty. So this is a big topic for, I think, black people in America, period. We have to talk about it because everybody's tired. I think that if you are a person of color, if you are a black person living in America, spell it with a K, because we don't get the same justice. We don't get the same treatment. And I saw recently Metcalf's dad, the boy who died, his dad got online recently and said a bunch of stuff. And like one of the things that kill me about white people, and I'm going to pass this, but one of the things that really upset me is when, that bothered me rather, is when they all love to say, you have the same rights as we do. You have the same freedoms as we do. You get the same treatment as we do. I think they think, I don't even think they think this. I think they just like saying it because the truth is too real and too hurtful. It's too blatant. Just like America, when anytime you got to rewrite and erase your history, it's bad. And so I think they like to sugarcoat what it is in the justice system, because there's no way you can think that black people and white people get the same justice or get the same day in court and it has the same outcome. We commit the same crimes and we get the same treatment or the same punishment as someone white. Statistics don't lie. Data doesn't lie. And so I don't see how they could let those words come out of their mouth, but they do.
And I think it's just they in denial. And then they think, say so freedom. They keep that freedom mentality in their head and think it consists of everything.
Yeah.
But why are we so, and you need to understand this, us black folks so hated on. And it's just like we allow it. I don't know if we allow it or it's just become a comfort zone for white people to what I guess in terminology, to idolize it being a natural thing to even think about of black folks. Just being hated on. Just be like, okay, they don't, they don't care about us. Really. They really don't. They do it in our face, and we can't do nothing about it.
Let's bring it back first.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the people who don't know about the Karmelo Anthony trial versus Austin Metcalf, just to summarize it, it was a young black boy who was at a track meet. Both of those teams, I guess, are rivals or whatever it is. However, this case is based off of them, whether or not Karmelo Anthony acted self-defense for someone who came and confronted him about being under a different team's tent, which was Austin Metcalf's team tent. And just a little bit more detail about it. So Karmelo Anthony allegedly was in a tent that one of his teammates or maybe one of the person he know invited in underneath this tent. Obviously that day it rained. However, Austin Metcalf has a twin brother named Hunter Metcalf. They were about 4 steps below them, which means that they were not underneath that tent. However, I guess I forgot the coach's name, but the coach stated that Austin and Hunter, one of them, was in charge of that tent, which means that I guess people who weren't supposed to be in the tent isn't supposed to be in that tent. So they were supposed to allow those people to know that they have to be removed or leave that tent at most or whatever. However, Austin and Hunter came a little aggressive at Karmelo Anthony and told him that he has to move. Well, of course, and I'm not going to say anybody that feels like they entitled to something, the other person who's defending themselves is going to say, well, make me at this point. Like, you cannot force me to move anywhere. And it kind of goes back to, kind of a little bit Rosa Parks. Can't make me move out my seat if I don't want to type. But he wasn't too fond of it. And allegedly, Karmelo stated that they multiple people had attacked him at that time. But Austin and them did shove him. I'm not sure how big of a shove, push, whatever, but anybody who put your hands on another person, of course, going to be acting self-defense. They're going to defend themselves. And in that point of time, Karmelo Anthony decided to have a knife in his bag and pull it out.
It wasn't a knife.
I was say, was they sure it was a knife?
Let me say that.
Right.
Let me say that. Because it's the smallest details that matter.
It's important,
exactly. It was a military bottle.
Boy Scout.
Sort of, I wouldn't say with a blade, maybe.
It's a multifunctional tool.
And they give
multi-tool.
It's a multi-tool. When you go through Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, they give you this little tool, and you all seen it. You carry it on your keychain. It's that small.
Yeah.
But when you flip it up, it has all these little gadgets.
Like
it has a corkscrew. It has a fingernail.
Pliers.
Some of them have nail clippers on there. A little scissor on there. So it's just a multifunctional tool.
Right.
They're not illegal to carry, and it's definitely not a
what
knife.
was told in the court.
Right. No, a multi-tool.
It's just a multi-tool, So, and now the controversy was in between, well, did he actually fall on that tool, or did he actually stab him intentionally? Because that's my perspective of it all.
Well,
but just to summarize the whole. Oh, and they also stated that those two twins were a repeat offender of bullying. So I feel like that a lot of people knew that at the time he was bullying that boy out of a seat that he didn't have to leave out of, but should have gotten an adult about that, situation.
Yeah, and I'm hearing stories that the brothers even beat up their father and broke his arm.
Yes.
So,
or they were separated.
And attacked their mom.
And attacked their mom. So they have a history of violence.
That's right. 911 calls. They do not lie. These kids were violent. They beat their own parents. Their parents were scared of them. Yeah.
They knew jujitsu.
Yep.
And they outweighed that boy by 200 some pounds. And that's reminiscent of back in the day when they did lynchings. That's like a mob. You in a tent by yourself or with your friend, and you got a group of people you don't know getting angry at you, trying to force you out of tent. What happened to the humanity? If he's trying to get out the rain, allow him just to be under that tent just to get out the rain for a little bit. That's not going to kill you. He's not stealing secrets from you or anything like that. So what's the problem with him just sitting under a tent just to get out the rain or whatever you will? It's just a tent. And it's just a space.
If your coach puts you in charge of the tent and then somebody comes and sits and you tell them to move, they don't move, you go tell your coach.
Right.
You don't.
Or the police.
Being in charge of something doesn't mean you get the right to physically move somebody.
You're not an enforcer.
That's my point.
Right.
None of this would even be happening because you can tell me to move all day.
Right.
But if I don't, you got to escalate it, but not by putting your hands on me, by going to get somebody who is an authority because that's not you.
Right. If the coach can't do it, go get some police officers because I know police officers on premises. Yeah, I know they on premises.
Yeah.
So,
but how many times have we seen white people, Karens and whatever they call the white men who do it, always trying to mind somebody else, a black person's business.
All the time.
Physically tell you what you can and can't do.
All the time.
Where you can and can't
Like they
do,
run the
music.
world or something.
Yeah, your
Right.
kids can't swim here. Like all kind of stuff. We hear it all the time. For some reason, white people walk around like they own this earth.
right.
And everybody got
They
to ask
all in
permission.
power.
Right.
Because
And
they
that's the
set the
same-
world up like that.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's
Of course,
the same
exactly.
thing. His name was John, they dad. No, whoever
I
his
can't
name is, I
remember.
could care less.
Right.
He was so damn drunk. He went on live talking about black people. We still jobs.
He called him a watermelon felon.
Yeah.
That's what he called
Carmelo. Yeah.
See.
I mean, he
But
had
do you
so
know
much.
why he said that though? You know why he called him? That's important. Watermelon is historic and associated with slavery, and black people always eating watermelon. Like that was degrading.
Yeah.
That was a racial slur. So there is no wondering where his kids got this mindset and behavior
right.
from, or this superiority that they look down
This
on. black
ideology, right.
people. Yeah, they were taught that.
They was taught that.
I was gonna say it's kind of one of them things to where like I think even the African American, like the black community, we don't even get offended no more.
Right.
Like I be reading the comments, I be like, okay,
talk back.
come stronger. Okay, thank you. You know, it be kind
Right.
of one of them things to where like they want us to get offended, like we used to so bad. They want to trigger us so bad,
Right.
and we have like just came to the unison agreement that none of that phases us no more. We already
Right.
know how it is. We know what it is. We don't expect anything different.
Right.
And I was looking at it was kind of like an interview that somebody was just doing recently, and they was like, we're not surprised. Nobody was shocked by the verdict. We just realizing that the same case in the same state, in a different way, different race, can complete like a whole nother term.
Whole nother outcome.
Trial.
Right.
You have very
Right.
few many white people. I've seen some speaking up, but the ones who get it got it.
Right.
But I've seen a couple of white people say and admit, if this young man was black, they're talking about Karmelo Anthony. If he was white, this would be a totally different case. If that was for black boys attacking or bullying a white kid, this would be a totally different case.
Right.
If Karmelo Anthony was white, this would be it wouldn't even be a case.
Right.
They would be applauding him for being a hero and standing up for himself.
Right.
And then I think I heard a couple of things saying like, if it was black on black, or if a black person decide this and that now, what would y'all do? We know our right from wrongs. And the thing is, we won't just toast the people. Like, a lot of them say, oh, we racist, but speak on a lot of racism things in those comments. However, like I put it out, black people, we're so humor about a lot of things that if a black person did do a crime behind another black person or something happened, we would have been like, okay, yeah, it is their fault. Just the same way we did last time with old girl at the Airbnb.
Yeah. Black people impartial.
Come around, but we're not a type of race to be, he deserved this, or, but not in a way where it's like, oh, here's another black person like they do. Oh, there's
right
another
is
black
right and
person
wrong
coming.
is wrong.
Exactly. If justice is deserved in the case, we want justice to be served. Because if somebody harms somebody in our family, we want that person to be prosecuted. Just like anybody else. All we ask for is fair trials.
That's it.
That's all we ask for,
Never
justice.
said he didn't do a thing.
Right.
He didn't say that.
Exactly.
Right.
Was
But
he
why
treated
murder?
fairly?
Right.
Yeah.
Why murder?
Because they want to try him as an adult. And rush the whole process.
It was crazy.
See,
It's self-defense because, okay, if he didn't feel threatened or get his hands get put on, beat up by these two big white dudes, he wouldn't justify by picking up a knife if he couldn't defend himself. He picked up the knife because they bigger than him, stronger than him,
And it's more than
him.
Right.
And so he had to defend himself because, okay, I'm gonna get either they're gonna kill me or
Exactly.
I'm in survival.
You don't know what's
mode.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
You don't know what's gonna happen.
Survival mode. It's like
Cause your PTSD gonna kick in. Like,
seriously.
yeah, your PTSD gonna kick in. That's genetic memory. I was doing some research on some slave cases. Like, they could accuse you of anything back in the day, and they go a posse of 200 people gonna come after one person, and they gonna lynch you. Even if you get to the trials, read one of these cases. These people are in trial. They come in the courtroom, kidnap these people out the courtroom, hang them, lynch them, burn them, dismember them, all that. So they don't even get a fair trial, even in that sense. And I mean, they didn't even get a jury of their peers. Like, he got tried by all white people. That is not a jury of your peers.
Defendant chose him. He didn't have
And a lot of these cases I was looking at, they was centered in Texas. So Texas has a history of this stuff like that.
And you know what's frustrating?
I should have brought the pictures.
Where was our community at when this was going on? Why did we not speak up? We like to speak up after the trial.
What do you mean?
Like,
No, we spoke up when it happened.
I'm just saying.
Because
can
before
we-
the trial happened.
Did we have a choice in the jury or who?
No.
No, I know we don't have a choice to
So
pick
let
the
me
jury,
tell you
but-
about college.
Yeah, they do. His lawyer did.
Black
Yeah.
people who were eligible for jury selection,
But they
and
didn't choose
they,
them.
they struck them all.
They struck
And this
them.
is in Collin County. This is not
Yeah,
Dallas
that
County.
is.
So you got
It's-
Frisco,
yeah.
Plano, the Colony, McKinney,
But three
Allen.
black people were potential jurors for that jury.
Yeah, they
and they struck them all. They withdrew them. They and his attorney didn't fight to have it, didn't push,
No
because that's how jury
cross-examination.
selection go. You get a choice, I get a choice. It go back and forth.
The attorney, because they could have fired the attorney.
Apparently, the attorney was just a public defender.
No, that's not true.
No?
The attorney, his history and background is in public defending. The attorney that they paid has
they
his
paid
own practice.
him.
They paid him. He
yeah,
has his
see.
own practice, but the bulk of his career comes from being a public defender
And see,
and
that's a
then
red
working
flag.
for what's the free legal aid of Texas.
Legal aid,
That's where the bulk of his
But see,
career
that's
comes
the
from.
part.
So he defended it just like a public defender because
Exactly.
that's where his the bulk
Expertise
of his career
is,
his
yeah.
expertise comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not knowing the fighting for something that he needs.
And then I'm gonna say
not
this
being
too.
on the wrong side of the track.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? He probably was like, well, he didn't want to mess his reputation up.
Of course he did.
You know what I'm saying? By defending.
It was a black person. I cannot think of his name, but his name is all over the media. He was the front man for the family, the spokesperson for the family.
I know exactly who you're talking
It
about.
starts with a D.
And they
I
was
can't-
like, why did he?
Where did he come from,
Yeah.
right? So in the beginning, when this first happened, when this case first got out, right? I was online and I heard about it and so I started tagging me personally because I knew this was going to be a big thing. I started tagging black law firms that I knew were prominent in this city, that were big in civil rights movement. And one of them that I did send the story to reached out to the family, set up a meeting with the family. The family took the meeting, and then all of a sudden, maybe a week after, he got a letter from them in black and white saying, please don't speak on our behalf anymore. We don't want to retain you. We're going in a different direction.
Yeah.
So I was wondering why so abrupt and so rude, because it was rude how they said it, and it was abrupt. Well, come to find out, so this Karmelo Anthony family, they're not from Texas. They're not.
Louisiana. Yeah.
So they don't know a lot about how things go
Texas
here,
works,
right? So
They should.
this black man that got in their ear, the man I was telling you about, I can't think of his name, but he's the one who pushed them. Hey, I have a nonprofit. It's called, I'm not even gonna plug it. I have a nonprofit and I work with a lot of civil rights cases. I can do this. I can do that. I know Collin County. You need to hire an all-white legal defense.
See?
So they took his advice, shut down all the calls in the meetings from the black attorneys and firms that were reaching out to them, and took his advice and stuck beside him. Well, look what happened. See, that black man, what they didn't know, he already bought and paid for.
Yeah.
Right.
He already bought and paid for. And you need to know the history of racism. We call them Uncle Tums, but just know it's gonna be some amongst them. Everybody ain't gonna be with
but
the
they're made to be
program.
controlled us.
Everybody ain't gonna be with the program
Right.
just because you black.
Right.
Somebody
Exactly.
gonna sell out. They gonna be there. You
But
gotta
they know
know
what
that.
they're doing because they use us to control the people.
Oh, he did that.
Yeah.
He did that. And look what happened. And now the family has since fired him, but your son has already got charged with murder. 35 years.
Right.
It's already in the pen.
But do
Right.
y'all
Already
really
down
think,
there.
do y'all really think that if they had a black attorney on the stand, that it would have made a big difference?
Absolutely.
It could have.
I can tell you
It could have.
in ways it would have. Things that this white attorney did not do. You didn't. You let these kids get on the stand. First of all, every witness on the day that this incident occurred, they had to write a written statement.
Exactly.
So that's in writing. When those witnesses got on the stand, especially the kids that were there, when those children got on the stand, they all changed their story. And the defense attorney didn't question them, didn't say, hey, you said this right here. You didn't say it was
Maybe
you
once or
contradicting
twice.
yourself. This is not what you said in your original testimony. He didn't do it.
Yeah.
So to me, if you would have had somebody, another thing was the character witnesses. No, Karmelo didn't have any.
Character
You
witnesses.
You didn't have any.
Right.
You think a black attorney wouldn't have got these boys some character witness? He was a good student.
Right.
He ain't never been in no trouble.
Right.
Straight A student. He was a hero.
Yeah.
He saved a kid from drowning a few years back,
ago.
like in 2020 maybe. 2020 or 2010, something like that. He saved, it was out in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Like, this is not his character. And another thing to point out, you got to look at the history. We're talking about character, right? You can't tell me a black attorney wouldn't have brought up his history, his character versus these twin boys.
Right.
Or
They
the
were
DA,
known
the
as bullies.
judge, and all of them.
Right.
Pull up their referrals. Oh, all of that come into play, but none of it came into play, in this trial.
So fast.
Because
Yeah.
they
That's how you know it's
it
propaganda.
came
They
to win.
they pushing that through.
Already
Yeah.
One
rigged.
Yeah,
day.
it's
Yeah.
scripted.
The man who introduced you to this white legal team was bought and paid for.
Yep.
The white legal team was bought and paid. You know what he was doing. You know what he was doing.
Yeah, you already know it's something riding in the cotton when it's on
Put that
TV.
money
He didn't even try.
They did.
Anytime they put some,
Us in the comments was more of a defense attorney than the
Right.
attorney that was there. Look,
Yeah.
and that's the thing I was saying. Like, we watch movies and TV shows. You cannot tell me these TV shows and movies do not relay the real life situations. And you know,
Oh, yeah, they do.
I'm just like, y'all.
They do.
Everybody who want to sit there and say y'all trying to make it a race game, do not sit there and try to play.
It's always been
Y'all was
racial.
sitting up there laughing and happy and kiki and kakai because not that he murdered somebody, because he was convicted of murder and you put another black person under
In
the
jail.
jail cell.
Right.
Don't tell me that y'all
They
God
celebrated
bless
that. They
God.
Oh yeah.
Clapping.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They was in the courtroom
laughing
clapping.
about certain
Yeah.
things. That's and I mean I wouldn't say it got it under my skin, you know, because I attack back, baby.
Yeah, and I think really one of the reasons why black people has become apathetic is because we realize it's all a ritual. Anything they put on TV is already pre-scripted. It's already so you already know how it's gonna go. So you know,
Somebody call me
But this is
stupid.
real life. Like, it's fucked up to be.
no, they do that. They do that to get into your psyche.
It's messed up to be a statistic, and it could be just as well known your kid around the corner or down the block or in the white neighborhoods that, you know, even the white folks, they want to stand up and want to say this, say that. Where was you at protesting and getting on these lawyers or helping this black boy out? Don't speak after the fact. I need you to speak when it's going on. You know what I mean? I need you to stand up to I know they got friends, cousins, neighbors that don't feel right about the situation. I need them people to stand up, but will they do it? I don't think so.
Nah, they can't go against the
Not a
system.
lot of them. Some of them will. It's not a
Yeah.
lot. It's not a lot. Just like in the civil rights movement. But that's the thing, though. It does take black and white.
Right. Exactly.
You got to have some of them too, and it be a few.
It do.
Even in the civil rights movement, some white people, some of the white women went against their husbands to help out during the bus boycott, and some white men, they had to sneak and do it, was on the front lines. Some of them, but it's not enough. When you sit complicit as a white person, you are agreeing with the agenda, and you cannot. And what kills me is you love to say you're a Christian.
Oh, that's love to say God
Message.
and all that
You
shit.
love to say you're a
I'm for
Christian.
God in this.
How? How? If you can
happy.
watch another person lose their life innocently and you sit complicit and compliant, you're a part of the problem.
Right.
I think more so, a different lawyer would have helped, but the fact that they didn't allow any cameras or any footage of it, they just
Right.
wanted
On purpose,
to trial
too.
it in a box. That way
Right.
there's no public outcry.
That was on
'cause it would've
purpose.
went
Yeah.
further.
Right.
'Cause
because it's a video. Not only heard some shit, it's a video of the fight.
That's
one of the boys that was there recorded the fight. They have suppressed that video. You want to know why? Because the video tells the truth. It was self-defense. And a staff member, he has given his statement over and over again to news outlets and said that he saw 4 guys, the twins and 2 other boys, approached Karmelo and was telling him the Metcalf boy is the one that was telling him to leave that tent. But when Karmelo didn't do it, they jumped him. And Karmelo took off running. The twin grabbed the backpack. Karmelo came back for his backpack. They tussled on the backpack. He went in the backpack and grabbed the tool or whatever, and he stabbed the twin.
And that's what like you were saying, Tom, they're trying to push the propaganda of no media inside courtrooms now.
That's
like
only
after
for
this,
cases.
exactly, and because they just tried to pull this up now. Oh, we're not doing media blase inside a courtroom. Second of all, like you said with the videos. Anybody know there's a fight going on? The first thing people doing is pulling out their phone, not helping, not pushing none or pushing together or moving people away. Because had you cared, and one person against 4 to 5 different people, you mean to tell me that you couldn't get that one person up off of this black boy?
Right.
And then the thing is, see, y'all, when you break down the mindset of bullying. Y'all, this is not a one-day thing.
Right.
He had been being bullied.
Right.
So, and then Lord Jesus, I'm going to try to say this lightly because the parents. This is what I don't like about Black people when we try to fit in and then teach our kids to fit in places and spaces that they're not wanted. Why are you trying to get a seat at the table? Okay, we move out here. I want my kids to get a better education. That's cool. But then you got to have the other conversation with your kids. When these people are not accepting of you, you still walk in around this school with your chest out, your head held high, and do what you got to do as a student. They don't want to be your friend? Cool. We got other friends. You don't have to be their friend. You got to have that conversation with your kids so they can quit trying to fit in. Karmelo parents, he told them that he was being bullied, but they was, oh, it'll be all right. No, it's not going to be all right. Oh, we'll try to be their friend. And how do I know this? Because they got text messages. The twins lied and said, oh, we don't know Karmelo. We never bullied him. But the phone don't lie. They got all the text messages. You was calling this boy. See, Karmelo drive a Lexus to school. His parents got it. He drives a Lexus to school. But these Metcalf twins, they didn't come from much. So when you see this little black kid pulling up in his Lexus every day and you don't even have a car.
School.
But he drove a Lexus. He had the same parties at the same functions. They knew he had something. He dressed nice and he got a girlfriend. She looked good. They jealous.
Yeah, they jealous.
And your parents telling you just try being their friend. It's text messages in his phone where where Metcalf is saying, "Come pick me up and let's go play basketball." And your parents are encouraging you to do it, to try to be their friend.
To dance with the devil. You should encourage your child to dance with the devil. That's all they doing.
Don't tell your kids to be the bully friend.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna work. What you gotta do is, and I'm gonna tell you what I think. Every parent in this room told their kids, Mama, Daddy, what happens when I'm being bullied? Well, if they hit you first, you hit them back. Yourself.
Right.
Well, Mama, Daddy, what happens if they bigger than me? You pick something up and you knock the fire out of them.
Right.
Who haven't heard that?
The equalizer.
My mama told me that.
Right.
Yeah, that's
she didn't say stab nobody, but trust me, I done picked up a few things and got busy. Because you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, prior to that tent situation, because people like, where it just come from? Things just don't come from out of the blue.
No.
Yeah, right.
I did see a couple of videos that they have not published until prior, but then they erased it. It was a back and forth deal where the Metcalf, they were having like racial slurs amongst Karmelo, and then on top of that, they was posted up with guns like I'll
AK-47s.
I'll shoot this black boy or whatever. Yeah, they had a lot of shit prior to this. So, and my speculations because sometimes, like you said, our parents get to telling us, hey, if something goes on, go ahead and defend yourself. And I'm not gonna say that half of it, me personally feel like that. Yeah. Part of it was premeditated, but I feel like premeditated
On who?
because him bringing the tool. He knew that if something did go down, he had something to defend himself. However, because he already knew that he been dealing with stuff that's been happening before.
Right.
You posted up with guns. He never posted up with guns. He might have a picture. You don't know how old that is.
Right.
But you posted up with guns and you tagged me towards me
with a threat
things towards me, threatened me about stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I have my protection because I remember at one point in time in my lifetime, somebody said they was gonna jump me. Yes, I came with that brick, that extension cord in my hands to be ready to fight at all times. You know what I'm saying? But and then people can't say, oh, you know, why would somebody bring this and that and that? First of all, at the stadium. Any stadium you go to, why is there not security guards inside of the stadium or police officers?
Nobody.
They are.
Even if the security checked that bag, the thing he had
really went off, right?
It was legal.
It was legal.
Legal
to have anything. And people say, well, it's a school. It's not a school. It's a stadium.
But they don't be on the track meet.
Keep saying it wasn't.
It wasn't a night.
Yeah.
That's something that they put out there to train people's mind
to say it is.
To say it was a night.
But you know, security don't be on the field exactly.
Not the field, but prior to you going inside.
They there.
They there.
Oh, and then they were suspended at that.
Nothing about it was premeditated because he brought a knife to defend.
It wasn't a knife.
Right.
Because if you think about it, people take guns with them just in case shit happens.
Yeah.
Right.
If you go to court,
that's
not
Right. That's not premeditated.
I'm not saying premeditated as he was about to go do it, like he wanted to.
No,
go
but
do
you
it.
said somewhat, so it's not at all.
Well, at the end of the day,
He was prepared
in my
for whatever
opinion,
was-
like I said,
That's not
if you felt like that
They taught him that in Boy Scouts.
that if something was going to go down, I'm gonna make sure I stay protected at all times. And if it did go down, not saying he premeditated go out and just trying to do something just to do something.
But that's a technique.
Hold on. Let's clean this up. Let's clean this up. That's the first law of nature, self-preservation. That's all he was doing. He was practicing self-preservation. So whenever you walk out this house, whenever you walk out your house, you can know something can happen to your life, and you have to protect yourself no matter what.
Not the same thing. However, I worded it wrong.
Yeah. Well, we just want to clean it up for him. That's all. We want to clean it up for him.
That we think he had the tool for protection.
Yeah.
But if you go through Boy Scouts, they don't take you, they don't give it to you necessarily for protection. It's multi-purpose. So you can start a fire with it.
Yeah.
You can break some wood with it. You might outfoul a nail. You know, it's multiple things you can do. It might not have been to defend yourself from bullies. They teach you to keep it on you at all times. So that's a Boy Scout survival tool.
Yeah, but I feel like all around, it should never been.
It could be that.
It should have never been like conviction of murder, you know. Yeah, what you guys?
I just feel like the sentence shouldn't have been as high. I get that some type of jail time or some type of sentence because
Right, was needed.
Let's not be delusional.
Yeah.
Because that's why I'm like I ride the border and I've been quiet online so much because I'm not saying that like he shouldn't have got nothing. I don't feel like it should have been life.
Right.
But I do feel like he should have gotten something because just to show the justice system that we have to say, oh, we did do something because if not, they're going to come for the black family.
Yeah.
They're going to do that anyway. They're going to do that anyway. Right.
Especially if they didn't get what they wanted, but it shouldn't have been life.
But that means the charge would have to change. The charge that would have been at least appropriate if you're not going to go just give him probation like you did the other white girl.
Yeah.
If you're not going to just give him probation, it should have been manslaughter. Because manslaughter is an accidental killing. Somebody did lose their life, but it was not intentional.
He didn't go there to do that.
He didn't. No, he woke up that day. He didn't know this was going to happen. He didn't predict it was going to rain.
Yeah.
I can't predict that I'm going to be under their tent. I can't predict that 4 people are going to tell me to get up and move.
Right.
My homeboy invited me over, dapped me up. We sat down, chopped it up, and then here they come. None of these things he knew were going to happen.
Yeah.
This was no premeditated nowhere. It should have been manslaughter if it was going to be anything. Accidental manslaughter.
Right. And this boy is 19 years old.
He just
and I think
19.
due to the age, they saying, oh, 35 years, that's not that much. He's still
What you mean?
Hell
35
no.
for just
exactly
2 to 3 years. Fuck your mind up.
But I even seen posts
Hold on.
like, oh yeah, he'll be eligible for parole.
Nah, ain't no justified shit. That's what we
Hold on.
That's what we do.
Hold on.
But that's been a thing.
You gotta make it. You gotta make it out. There's no guarantee that he's gonna survive jail.
Right.
It probably won't even be jail mates. It could be a correctional officer paid under the table to fuck with this boy behind closed doors.
Right.
Say that he did something. Then he tried to defend himself.
Man,
if he don't come out either to commit suicide, then he gonna say, "Oh, well, he was being trouble or he had a behavior problem." So let's just go up on
somebody could just rape him.
And I hope.
Shout out to Sandra Bland.
Somebody could just do all kind of stuff to him. He ain't prepared. He wasn't that type of kid. You know what I'm saying?
And to give him about 35,
he wasn't that type of kid.
maybe 5, 10, but not no fucking.
And I hope we all come together and pay for that appeal.
He haven't even dealt with life yet.
Right. I hope we all come together. When we come together, I hope we all come together and pay for that appeal. I heard Charleston White said he put it was 150,000.
No, he put up 75.
But he put up 75. But he said
somebody matched
150,000 just to
Cardi B put up 5 million.
She said she didn't do that shit.
And,
she said she didn't do that shit.
Oh, she said she didn't.
No, they just make up shit.
No, make up.
Okay.
Well, Boosie put up 150K, and then Charleston White put up 75.
Already.
So let's talk about why did they cancel the? It's not GoFundMe, but it's what some
Give, Send, Go. I shouldn't even shout them out.
Yeah, like they cancel it because they don't allow convicted murderers or whatever hard charge to get money. Why did they?
Because it's a Christian gift site. That's what they say. They're funded on Christian principles. And
but don't we talk about second chances?
Right.
So,
Hello.
Anyway.
Right.
But
speak on that Christian stuff like she said. Like,
everybody
I
needs
just
to
hope
pull.
they giving everybody back their money. Don't you keep it.
Right.
Exactly. Everybody
Give it
needs
back
to pull
every
together.
sender who sent something.
now let's talk about that Chinese dude.
Hold on, before we get off that, I had a silver lining on that last case. I was sitting there thinking about the case, and it came to me. His initials is K.A. Karmelo Anthony, and in Egyptian spirituality, that means spirit. Ka, it means Ka. It means the spirit. So to me, I'm gonna celebrate him as the fighting spirit that black people need to have going forward, defending ourselves against this racism. So I'm gonna salute and raise up Karmelo Anthony in the Egyptian sign of Ka. So I'm gonna raise his spirit up. We need to wrap our arms around Karmelo Anthony that he get justice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now on to the next case, Rick Chow.
Should be coming soon.
Yeah, they already filed for the appeal.
But how long?
He got a new legal team. So
doesn't appeals take
it's all about the money.
Yeah, but it should be fast. They prosecuted them fast.
I've seen cases that lasted about a whole year.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, this is even off topic. But YMW Melly, he is on a murder case charge right now. And how many times have they pushed his judgment for whatever happened in his past? And this was like what, 10 to 8 to 10?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
10 years?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
But this
money
little
can do
boy,
that. Money can prolong the process.
That's what I'm saying. This little boy, for a week, it was even like a couple of business days, if you ask me.
Yeah. And it's never heard of where your trial and your sentences is in the same day.
Right.
It's not.
That's not
never
unheard of.
Where do you get 35 years?
Unheard of.
That's unheard of.
If you do this, you get 35 years.
We should have verdict by 6 p.m.
That is unheard of.
And we're going to have a delay in lunch or some shit like that. And what they say, the jury was able to go home or something?
You know what? I think it's a setup.
It was a setup.
It is because
it's all the money.
I told you.
Anything you see on TV.
Everybody.
But it's all a struggle life because we have to put up.
I just hate his parents.
We got to go in our pockets because of injustice.
I just hate his parents went that route. And I hate to be the person to blame the parents because I understand what they're going through. But they made some bad decisions listening to this person who would have you, who could convince you as you're black, who can convince you that white is right. I hate that. Why do we think white is right or white is better? We have to get out of that mentality.
We don't know our history.
That was the silver lining. That changed everything.
We don't.
When you didn't take them other calls, because to me, the common sense thing would be, okay, I'm not from here. I heard what you're saying. You say go with them. Well, I'm gonna take a meeting with them, but I'm also gonna take a meeting with everybody else who reached out to me to see which one is a better fit for us. Not just listening to this one person that you don't know, or have no history with, because the Bible warns us, wolves come in sheep clothing. He was supposed to come like that. You think he was coming for your good, and really he for your demise. Right. And now it's gonna cost your son 35 years that we don't even know if he gonna get back.
Right.
So versus Karma K.A. versus this Chinese dude. I don't even know his name, but y'all
Rick Chow. That's his name, Rick Chow.
And you said
The boy name, his name is Cyrus Carmack Belton.
And how old was he?
I think he was like 16 or somewhere 16. In there. Yeah.
Okay, so you 16, you go inside of a store and you walk around. I think they did say that.
And it's a video.
Around, the whole little family was watching him.
Yeah, they was watching him. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hurry up and buy.
Right. Exactly. Right. Like, hurry up and buy.
And supposedly they said that he threw a punch or he held somebody at gunpoint, his son at gunpoint or some shit, and then he ended up just running out the store or whatever. First of all,
is the store still up and running?
No,
they tore it down.
I think a lot of people.
And they put water bottles all over.
That's what I bet. That's what I want.
Yeah,
right.
They better not be.
I think I was told one day because I think I was doing either. When you do gun license or whatever, they teach you like certain laws and rights before you actually do the physical part. You have to do like a written part of laws about stuff. And what I was told is that you never shoot anybody in their back,
especially in daytime.
If they running away,
if they running,
police can't even do it. Well, they do it.
They do it because at that point you're not a threat. You running away.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
As soon as you're
even in a
front
fight,
of somebody,
you can't even kick nobody if they fall down.
Yes, because you're forcing that.
They're not a threat anymore.
Murder or whatever you want to call it, right?
Right.
So to me, I feel like it was heavy because why would you chase a dude that is no threat? 16 years old, like you said, 16 years old by himself, and he run over water because water should be free to begin with. Water should be free to begin with, and
that water about $15.
And
tell your story in our community, like
that's crazy.
So run.
If this is too much for you, and you got to take somebody life, you need to get out this community.
Right.
Get out there. If you that scared, get out this community.
Which way was it self-defense on the Chinese men?
It wasn't.
Because what is it that the young boy did so bad that it caused self-defense?
His self-defense case turned around when that boy turned his back and started running. At that point, it was no more self-defense. That's it.
Because if the little boy put his hands on you, you know what I'm saying?
But you gotta meet that with equal force. You still can't.
That's my point.
Pull out no gun and shoot him.
That's my point.
If he punch you, you gotta punch him back.
So
even if he punch you can't shoot him.
That's what I say. You can't. You gotta meet equal force. Yeah.
Right. And it's crazy that you said that because people were saying, Karmelo did something equal force, blah blah blah. That's not the same equal force as a dude, but they were bigger.
It was bigger.
I digress, but anyways.
And because the thing was they said about 0.5 millimeters. It wasn't a huge.
Like 5.5.
Yeah, it was so small. So you don't know that this is going to go all the way through and pierce his heart.
Right.
You don't know that.
It's not.
He stabbed him in his heart.
It shouldn't have killed him.
It shouldn't have.
But then somebody said his toxicology report I don't know if it's true or not.
The boy had drugs in his system.
Yeah, he had mixed in with
fentanyl.
Who, Austin?
He had some stuff in his body. Yeah. Steroids. He had some steroids.
Yeah.
That's why they spit that case.
Yeah. And they also said that I read something else that said that because it was 4 of them, the other twin as well, all of them posed a threat to Karmelo, but this particular twin was the initiator. Well, because he died, the brother can get the same charge. If this case goes to appeal court, they give him a new trial, blah blah blah. The brother can get charged because he posed the same threat. Yeah. And they know that, and that's why they rush the process. Yeah, that's what they said. The brother can get the same charge.
And that goes back to the uneducated part of we don't know the system. We don't know how it works. Literally, I be watching Fatal Attraction and For My Man so much, and it be like the same thing or something, more lighter.
The system only works and justified by who is being processed.
Who's doing the crime?
Who's doing the crime? It ain't that you going by the book.
Yeah.
It's only who is getting.
But also where you are.
And a lawyer. Having the best attorney matters.
Yeah.
It matters.
Yeah.
It matters.
Yeah, you gotta put that
It
money
matters.
up.
You gotta put that money up, but it matters.
So
Yeah, having good representation matters. It's the difference between whether you walk home, go out, get your freedom or not.
Speaking of representation on that, it was a black lawyer that defended Rick Child. They got him off.
He was good.
Yeah, he was good.
He was good.
Yeah.
they should have looked at that case. They should have.
His wife was Asian.
He was good.
Yeah, he's a black man with an Asian wife, so he had vested interest to get that
We
man.
run that shit.
He did
I don't
that.
know why y'all acting like we don't run it. That's why they.
We do. Oh, and speaking of that, you said run it, right? And I had this because I watched this series on Netflix. It's called For Life. I don't know if anybody heard about that before.
I've heard it.
It's about a dude, and this is based off a true story. Let me see. I'm going back on there. Yes, it's based off of Isaac Wright Jr. He became his own licensed attorney in jail because you can learn different certifications, job careers inside of jail. Well, he did law because they falsely convicted, wrong convicted. He was trying to get himself out. It took him years though. It took most of his whole life or whatever. But he was able to find, even when the ward or half of the ward was good, sometimes stuff be based on true story, but false stuff go in as well. But he went and got his whole book, and studied law. At this point, got barred inside of jail, represented himself. He went to trial over 5, 8, 10 different times, because once you appeal, then the court go up to a different court, and then if you appeal that one, it goes to a different court till it goes to the main Supreme Court at this point, right? I think everybody kind of learned that in yes. So he did that, and he won his case. Now, advise you, this is years after. I'm talking about this was back in 1980s or whatever of that sort. He ended up being, I believe, like a civil rights attorney itself. However, after he did his time and he was free and was able to be on parole, of course, after you have to be on parole just to be on the watch, whatever, with good behavior. He went back and he went to go look at every wrong thing for other inmates to kind of help them out on their cases, to make sure, they had got a fair trial, or that he objected to certain things that was written out. And just like any system that you have in life, you can always go back to paperwork. If paperwork isn't done right, or these witnesses isn't done right, or the prosecution didn't do or the jury, or racism, or I don't know how they say it, discrimination within the jury or whatever, they can go back and retrial. Every case is not going to be right or wrong. However, he's still alive, and he writes books. I think he's about in his late 60s, 70s, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure, but yeah, his name is Isaac Wright. And I hope that one day, eventually, if I'm sure they had already found a new attorney or whatever, but they can kind of look into that man and maybe get a little bit more intel on things of that nature, because he have that type of intel.
Hear the story without watching the shit.
Yeah.
He was on the Connect with Johnny Mitchell. I listened last week.
Oh, okay.
His story, and yeah.
Oh, that's what's
he
up.
Was? What?
Yeah.
It was a good story.
Yeah, so I just, want everybody to maybe go out and look.
Check that out.
I just want to say to all the white listeners, teach your children to keep their hands to themselves.
Right.
Black parents, teach your children to be proud to be black, and that it is okay. It is they are loved, they are supported, even if that means walking alone. Walk with your head up, your chest out, and your shoulders back proudly.
And teach them to maneuver around these white folks that.
What do you mean maneuver around, of course?
Because there's a way that you can maneuver, and then there's a way that you can understand how to maneuver. In this case, he wasn't taught how to maneuver. I know we taught to defend, but there's also you can maneuver. What I'm saying is, okay, some things best left alone. Some things, okay, get a superior, somebody adult. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the situation, because we can all be bad, tough. But he's 19, bad, tough, and
At the time, he was
At the
19.
time, he's 19, so
No,
He wasn't 19.
He was 17.
well, he was 17, so
Yeah.
I understand that. I can tell my child, okay, yeah, defend yourself. But if it's a group of boys, then there's no winning in that situation. You gotta be able to maneuver, get away. You gonna fight if you gonna fight if you barricade it. Yeah, you do that, fight. But if you able to maneuver, get out the way.
So you know he ran away, right?
Well,
You know he did run away, right?
Right, he ran away, but okay, so he got caught, pulled back. He went back for the backpack, right?
Yeah, he went
Did he go back for the backpack?
He went back for his backpack.
but they still chased him, though.
They did chase him.
Right, but
when he ran away.
where's all these adults around him?
And you
Well, no.
forgetting this is not a one day bullying.
Right, I understand that.
All the time. So you know what happens with fear? It
But
builds up,
it
builds
does,
up,
it
builds
does.
up, it
You
builds
have
up.
adrenaline.
But
you don't know
and then that's
And you
why
know your bully ain't gonna stop
Exactly.
until they are stopped. That means somebody came to your defense and whooped the bully.
right.
That ain't happening.
Oh, you
Your
did something.
homeboy who invited you to sit under the tent didn't speak up when the
And see,
white
that's-
boy
see,
said, "What he doing
didn't
over
get-
here?"
Exactly.
Right.
Your homeboy didn't
Everybody
say
ain't your
nothing.
friend.
You want to know why? Because he's scared too.
He's
Right,
scared too.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, maneuver and have the parents responsible for.
You go home and tell your
Understanding.
parents. You've been telling your parents.
And
you
see,
bullied.
that's wrong on their behalf. It's wrong on their behalf.
So throw that in there too. Because
wrong.
don't just tell your kids they got to maneuver.
But at the
Well, how
same-
about this? How
Don't
about
teach
this?
your
How about
kids to
this?
move in fear.
How about we maneuver by separating ourselves
separating?
and be with,
ourselves in that position.
and not putting ourselves in that position. Learn your history. Hold on. Learn your history. We got history of lynchings. Teach your children about these lynchings. When you live in proximity to white folks, this type stuff tends to
Have a
happen.
conversation.
But if you ain't in proximity to white folks, it make it harder for it to happen. I ain't gonna say it ain't gonna happen because they still will come to your neighborhood and destroy it. But still, you have a place where you can defend and you with people, they look like you and they think like
Have
you.
any last other spoken words before we end this off?
Yeah, don't let temporary emotions cause permanent consequences.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's the
Well, anger
Yeah.
fuels us all.
Yeah.
We
And
in anger mode, it just takes over.
And one last thing I got is I think it's interesting about both of these cases. One of them name is Karmelo Anthony and the other one name is Cyrus. So if you know anything else, I'm going back to Egypt. If you know anything about Cyrus, it's Osiris. He's the god of the underworld. He's the god of the dead. And he's also the god of the resurrection. So I'm looking at all these cases. Why they put this in front of us as a ritual is because they trying to stop the warrior spirit. They trying to stop that from resurrecting. So you got Cyrus and you got Ka. They trying to stop that spirit of resurrection and warrior spirit in the black people. That's why they put it in front of us like that as a ritual, because it's brainwashing. It's a psyop. So that's the ritual they try to put forth. Otherwise, because there's 1,000 other cases that happened during this time frame that they could have put on TV. They chose these two black boys to put on TV, and their names are significant. They know this stuff. I don't think all this stuff is an accident. I'm breaking down the names.
Keep
On
control.
top
Yeah.
the thing to where we have all these voter rights.
Yeah, and that too.
They talking about separate but equal. They're playing into the agenda.
Yeah.
That's why when I'm hearing this separate and community thing, they're
it's
trying
control.
to have us to think like that.
Yeah.
We don't need to think like that. And it's not separate but equal because let's think about all of these African American communities that were booming and really processing and how they're trying to gentrify like New Orleans and places like this and take the culture away. Put our culture. It's like they want us to think like that. And it's like it's really hard to say, let's create our own community and build because what they gonna do?
They gonna just
See?
Because they already know. But
See,
also, like when we try to do separate but equal, it also kind of put this superiority and make us think like, okay, well, if we do this in our own community, because they're gonna always find a way.
Yeah,
That's what
but
they been doing
but now we have access to more weapons than we did back then. So now we have a system in place to where we can create our own army. See, last time we couldn't defend it. They came with bombs and all that stuff. That was the first time American city or any citizen had been bombed when they did Wall Street. The Gap Band sing about that. If y'all didn't know, they dropped the bomb on me.
Exactly.
But this time we have a military, and we got that's what the YNs are for. If we can rearrange their brains, that's the warrior spirit that they trying to stop.
But
That's the warrior spirit that they're trying to
can't
stop.
win.
So if we get all that, we organize that, and we create our own, and we defend it, we can be successful. The last time we couldn't defend it. Yeah, the last time we couldn't defend it.
My little last thought is us as a black community do not give up. When one situation happens, Don't wait till 5 months later and let everything drop. Like, keep going. Be consistent, because if it's a continuous thing, obviously we're not trying as hard to continue to fight our justice back. Right. We have the power, and I don't care what section it is, healthcare, law, education, all of those things. I don't care what it is, because at the end of the day, they want us to be scared. They want us to be below them and have them be more empowered when we have the power to give back. Right. But on that note,
one more thing. one more thing.
All right.
Black people, you touched on this. How we have somehow come to this common place where we haven't been taking the rage bait, right? Mm-hmm. I want to encourage us and still not to take the bait, because I do think it's significant that these two cases happen at this particular point in time, because prior to this, they were doing other things to get us to join in this hate or this administration and take that bait. But you know what happens if we get pissed off enough? He gets to stay in office because he calls martial law. Yep. Right. And this is what he wants. So I need us to think about the bigger picture, not lose sight of that. I know this is going on right now, but this is temporary. I do believe Karmelo Anthony is coming home. Yeah. So let's continue to pray for him and stay in the fight, but don't take the bait.
Right. Black people, we win in the end no matter what. Absolutely. It's written. It is written. We win in the end.
It's written.
Zealous Vibes, man. We gonna hang out with you later.
Peace.
Hey, tune in. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, hit YouTube.
All of that.
All of that. We in the building. JAZZ. Yep.